In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Mohamed Dabone as a 16-year-old, not as a 12-year-old. He lied to us, or somebody lied to us. EuroLeague, somebody, I don't know, but somebody online, whoever has the authority of the EuroLeague channel, they lied to us. They said that this kid was 12 years old at 6'10". This kid is not 12 years old, but he is 6'10", and he is 16, and he has some pretty good skills. So let's get down, let's check him out as an actual 16-year-old and not as a 12-year-old. Okay, so first off, he dives for the ball. He actually travels right there unless it's allowed in the league that he's in. But if you take a knee off the ground, that's an automatic travel under FIBA rules, and I'm pretty sure they are governed by FIBA. But either way, he passes that ball out. They never called a travel. They passed the ball back to him because he was smart. He cut off ball, and that allowed him to get a nasty dunk. Now, I just really want to point out the fact that his footwork was kind of pretty good. Like, obviously, he takes some stutter steps right there when he was receiving that ball. I understand that, but I always try to tell players to remove stutter steps. But overall, good footwork, 1-2, goes up, one-hand dunk. Now, this is where he really shows his youth. Now, he rolls off this screen. He does a good roll. He shows his body. He shows his chest. He shows his hands. He's good. Obviously, the other team is guarding him, so, and they're front-facing and, of course, have a man behind him. So, obviously, he's not going to get that ball. The guy out in the corner is going to obviously get that ball. Now, this is where he makes a youthful mistake. Personally, I would be trying to seal this man towards the middle. I know there's a lot of coaches and players who will try to seal this man on this side. I would actually try to seal him right here. The reason being is this pass can go to you. You can spin off. You'll have this whole entire side to yourself. He doesn't post up. He goes to the opposite side of this player. Obviously, they set up the lob. He can still score in this circumstance. But if he was to seal this man right here, they get that entry pass into him. He spins off. He could finish on this side. He could kick it out for a 3. There's more options. So this just kind of shows his youthfulness and something that he's probably going to get yelled at by his coach eventually when they do a film breakdown of this game. Now, I really like this play, but at the same time, I don't like it either. So he shows his hands and then he puts his hands down. He's no longer ready for a pass. They're about to pass to him, but keep his hands up. Get to this side of the key because obviously there's going to be players who are collapsing to you. He gets to that side of the key, sort of. He stays in the middle. I would have wanted him to be closer to this side because then there's lesser chances of the other team stealing the ball. American teams are much faster than what we see here, so they probably would have picked that pass off if he actually didn't get to this side of the court. However, I do like how he was able to have patience, did that quick shot fake that made 2 players fly right by him, and then he was able to finish with the dunk. So the beginning wasn't the greatest, but the ending with the dunk was nice. Now, this is something that a lot of Americans don't do, and that is when he rolls off, and I'm not saying the roll part, the screen and roll part is wrong. Yes, there are a lot of young players who don't roll towards the basket. However, that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is when he gets this ball, really nice footwork. Long first step, nice long penultimate step, goes up with 2 feet. He could be a bit wider. If he was going against bigger players, he would have to definitely have a wider base because if he goes into the NBA doing this or plays any high-level AAU and he does this, he's going to get knocked off and he is not going to be able to finish with this dunk most likely. There's going to be big players who are going to try and body him so that he is unable to get through and get that dunk. So he needs a wider base, but I do like how he finishes with 2 hands. You are 100% at every level. You are going to need to finish with 2 hands in this circumstance. It's not just the fact that you want to power this thing through, and 2 hands on that ball against 2 defenders obviously is going to be more protected for that ball, but you want 2 hands on that rim because you do not want your body to come down on that defender. You want to be able to hold on to that rim just for a second so that you can clear that man out of the way. And then in this next clip, there was not much contact. He finished nice and strong, which is good, but I would have liked to have a little bit more contact on this screen. Now, of course, he could have slipped the screen. That could have been a strategy here, but I'm a very big fan of just rocking people on screens, so he should have rocked that kid, forced the switch, and it would have been a lot better. It would have given him more opportunities because this is a better mismatch than this guy. However, that's again just youthfulness, not wanting to rock somebody on a screen, but he still does end up scoring and dunking with 2 hands. This shows youthfulness as well. So after this screen, he receives that ball. He collapses 2 defenders. The first decision should have been, because he's spinning this way, The first decision should have been to the backdoor cutter. However, he doesn't hit him. He still scores. He takes a dribble. This is still not too late. He still could have made this pass over, but he didn't make the extra pass. He goes in for a contested two-hand dunk. I'm not going to lie. Like, yes, he's going to be able to get away with this today. He's going to be able to get away with it at this level. But if he's looking to play NCAA or pro or even NBA someday, I mean higher level pro than what he's doing, then this extra pass to this guy cutting back door is 100% the right play in this circumstance, and he should have made that play. But again, he is only 16 years old. If he was 12 years old, it would be even better if he made that mistake, because it would be giving him an extra 4 years of learning not to do this. But either way, he still scored. This is another youthfulness play in my opinion, but this lob should have been seen earlier by him. Obviously, it wasn't seen in time. He didn't catch it high enough. He should have just alley-oop dunked that thing very easily, but he didn't. If he was to forecast and foresee that pass coming, then he would have been able to finish like that and finish strong. But by landing, bringing that ball down to his waist and going back up, while this is good at this level, and I would say probably 80% of the time he would be able to do that in the NBA, there is a good chance that this shot, just by landing and going back up, would have been highly contested and probably blocked by some of the bigger players like Embiid or even Giannis Antetokounmpo in the NBA. And there is the fact that he is a young player, 16 years old, who can actually shoot the basketball at a high level. So that is something that's really good. He also runs the floor extremely well, takes maybe one too many steps there, but either way, he still finishes. And I don't mean one too many steps as a travel. 1, 2, that's allowed. What I mean is he could have caught that ball. This could have been a longer stride so that when he actually caught it here, instead of there being 2 steps, he could have only got away with 1 step, which would have left these 3 players even further behind him. And he probably would have needed to do that if he was to play at an even higher level. Now, I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. Obviously, there are things that he needs to fix, but at the same time, he's a young player. He's only 16 years old. He's not 12. But some of these things that I'm trying to correct are not going to be things that are going to benefit him at the level that he's playing at. These are things that are going to benefit him in 2 or 3 years when he goes on to the next and bigger, higher level. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below, and I will see you guys again in my next video.